that again. Whatever. Hello, everyone. My name is Brent Barlow, and this is Blue Light Daily, a discussion of relevance and import. We are broadcasting on this Friday, December 19th, 2025. It is, we'll call it 12 noon local, 2000 Zulu, 8 p.m. GMT. Here, we honor the importance of public debate and the requirement of civility, the necessity of education and the strength of knowledge, the value of coming together and the power of collaboration. Before we begin, we pause to reflect and focus on our purpose, breathing in deeply, aligning with intention, dreaming the I'm possible, assisted by ancestors, powered by providence, rooted in reverence. The words spoken, the path clear, the way cool. Let us build what is worthy. Let us remember the dream forgotten. Let's make some magic together. Now, Ashe Madase. Today's word of the day is veracity. Veracity is a noun. Veracity means truthfulness, accuracy, and reliability of a thing, referring to the quality of being factual and adhering to reality. Whether applied to a person's statements or the reliability of information, veracity speaks to the truthfulness, accuracy, and honesty of a thing. Oh, look back, the day in history. French entertainer Edith Johanna Gachon, known professionally and around the world as Edith Piaf, the French singer and lyricist, widely regarded as France's greatest popular singer and one of the most celebrated performers of the 20th century, was born on December 19th, 1915. The first National Hockey League games were played on December 19th, 1917, with the Montreal Wanderers edging the Toronto Arenas 10-9, and the Montreal Canadiens skating to a 7-4 victory over the Ottawa Senators, marking the start of the NHL's inaugural season with 4 Canadian teams, and so the best sport on the planet. Our quote of the day today is from Dwight David Ike Eisenhower, the Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Forces in Europe during World War II, and the first human voice transmitted through space when on December 19th, 1958, President Eisenhower broadcasts a message of peace to the world below. Quote, "Through this unique means, I convey to you and all mankind America's wish for peace on earth and goodwill to men everywhere." Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is intended to serve as a platform to talk, share, learn, and grow. We are building a community at Labella B where we fearlessly challenge the veracity of the thing and know that a wish for peace and goodwill to all, everywhere, requires action also to create a world worthy of our children. And so here I speak directly and honestly, sharing a vision for a world secure for generations to come. It's about we, not me. Issues of concern continue unabated, littering the landscape, demanding attention, requiring action. I cannot look away. I will not look away. I choose to act. And so offer my take on current conditions and where I think things are headed. One question I have is whether this is resonating with anybody that I'm not married to or that I'm not related to by blood or marriage. Point of personal privilege. Information for all loyal Blue Light viewers, friends of the show. We are going to take a moment away from Blue Light Daily for the Christmas holiday, but we will be back. We will continue to post and we will still be available. So today we're going to wrap up the week and again try to tie some things together. And I've spent quite a bit of time this week talking about authenticity still and a process whereby I can become my best self. And that is where that fits in the overall ecosystem of what I'm doing is ultimately we are seeking to build a community, and that requires a certain level of intimacy. And I've characterized it as a community of aligned individuals. Well, I don't have to like everybody, but gosh darn it, we better all be on the same page and pulling in the same direction, because as I've mentioned previously, and I'll get into more, I'm sure, we are at a pretty critical juncture, an important fork in the road. And if history is a guide, the actions required for us to get out of the shit we're in. And there are certain things that are coming, regardless of opinion or want, that we can either choose to ignore or prepare for. So that's kind of my thing. So the exercise that I go through to be a better person is what I hope will be the guy that's capable of showing up here and showing up there and has one, I guess some might call it a certain level of EQ, emotional intelligence, but at least a certain self-awareness of what my motivations are, what my intentions are, what my truth is, how I'm showing up, how I'm affecting and influencing the interaction, and how I'm able to affect my mission, which in this case is to move the dial. So I believe that I need to be clean, I need to be clear, I need to be present to be effective. And so that's why an important part of what I'm talking about is that truth to self. Now, one of the things that I'm showing up for is this community, and this community is driven by a vision, and part of that vision is driven by what's going on right now. And I just said we're at an important fork in the road. The last 10 years, we have seen amazing strides in technology, specifically AI. And in the coming years, AI will continue to mature. And I've mentioned this to some folks where, I'm just going to start it and it'll get better as I go along. I can point to a number of examples. My daughter's Cyber Kids content and the number of followers she's got is amazing. But she started off, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting something out there. So in the more words of Lee Reams, it doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to get going. So AI is continuing to mature. And despite what you might think about how ubiquitous and AI is and how it's infiltrated your existence, it will continue much more to filter into the economy and into our lives. And interestingly, I just heard a guy talking about doing a AI diet. He went on it. He lived like 48 hours with no interaction with AI. And he defined AI as machine learning because that's essentially giving the machine the opportunity to improve itself. AI is machine learning on a different level. And basically he said he had to live like a caveman because machine learning is in everything. And it's been around for a while, but focusing on the right now in the last 10 years and AI specifically, the potential and potency of what we've got here needs to be considered. The direction that we take AI and the policies that we put in place will dictate the trajectory of our civilization for decades, if not centuries to come. Now, I'm going to point out three that I just heard mentioned by Alvin Graylin, who I'll point out is a pretty insightful guy. And, he talked about the most likely being essentially ultra stratification, something that he coined Elysium. And it basically is the ultra rich, the small number, the several thousand of billionaires that will move off planet, and everyone else will be here to fight it out with no opportunity to improve because there's such a gulf. And I'll just point out, side note, Trump just today signed some executive order to begin a program to land U.S. men, probably, on the moon and making it habitable for human existence. FYI, how long ago did I say Bezos is looking to get off planet? He's declared that. So he said that's the most likely scenario, given where we are, the trajectory that we're on right now, the continued concentration of wealth, the separation between the us and the them, the haves and the have-nots. The second one was his Mad Max scenario. And that was the dystopian future where the AI race, well, actually the AGI race, the race to artificial general intelligence between the US and China basically escalates to a nuclear war, that there was no other outcome, that somewhere along the way, human arrogance and ego flips the switch and we end up on that. The third was what I liked the best, and that was the Star Trek future. And just like I said about my admiration of Gene Roddenberry and the world that he created, he was talking about how the rational advancement of technologies, as was introduced to humans in Star Trek, allowed us to create a world of abundance. And we began to discover the stars and to pursue self-actualization versus greed, hoarding. We became a world of plenty, and the technology evolved with us and it facilitated us. That was his third preferred, he admitted, outcome. And it's what I've advocated here. It's what we've discussed a number of times. It is the community that we're talking about at Lavella B. But the current conditions, which you should be aware of, includes these large industrial commercial players influencing principally with money, the government leaders, and just focused on the biggest players on the board. The U.S. and China are driving largely a lot of this action, and the U.S. and many rightly talk about the national security implications of allowing other countries, specifically China, to access U.S. technology. Now, I will say that policy is essentially looking at the situation all wrong. It is looking at it as a zero-sum game. When you look at what China's doing with open source, they're basically providing their technology with regard to the large language models, the modeling. They're pulling up their skirt and they're showing us everything. I've heard the fears that that's just the way they're going to ingratiate themselves and burrow themselves into American culture. Well, Alvin mentioned along those lines that by providing this technology to the world that allows you to do whatever you want with it, you don't have to. First of all, you can examine it all, you can test it all, and strip out any malicious code that you find in there. But the long and the short of it is he analogized it to the U.S. using movies, Hollywood, and the soft power exerted by exporting U.S. culture around the world, making it cool and sexy to be a God-fearing American, a lover of democracy, And I think there is a lot of merit to that argument that China's approach to collaboration is the right approach. We can look at any number of international efforts, principally in sciences, particle physics, fusion reactors, space sciences, the International Space Station. These are all things that a group of countries or the world have come together to address that issue. Coming together for mutual benefit is like a no-brainer, right? And moreover, the fact that common problems require common solutions around the planet. So I recognize that there's a lot of fear about globalization and fears that, we're talking about one world, one government, one language, one this, one that. But the reality is what we are advocating is honoring the traditions of the people. One of the things that just irks me, and this, I guess, is a point of personal privilege, is those who today have recognized the value of some of the traditions and practices of indigenous people, of people who were here a lot earlier and longer than we've been here, who lived in harmony with the environment. It just galls me that the drive for economic wealth and power driven by ego and fear is not only so prevalent, but so permitted. So I'm putting my foot down. I see this whole AI thing and being over it, arguing whether it's a national security concern or not. The internet was the same way. And it is not, it has other issues, but the reality is that we have the ability to wall ourselves off by and large from any hostile nation attacking us. There's some other things that, the environment and these global challenges that we face, but it seems to me that no matter how I look at it, there are issues that require redress. They are large and require a big movement. I don't fool myself that I'm living in wearing rose-colored glasses in some pink cloud, thinking about how great the world could be if we all just got along. Call me Rodney King.
I just want to say, can we all get along? Can we get along?
But the truth of the matter is that one person can make a difference, and two people can make twice the difference. And if we can spark just a little bit of movement, we can gain a little more movement. And since these issues seem to me to be so critical to the future of not just the planet, but me, because it's always about me, I'm gonna do something about it, wherever I can. And this is part of it. We'll see. So I know, big plans, big dreams. Who the hell does this guy think he is? But I care, you care, we care. We can help each other. Who knows? But I do know you get to choose. Again, I know that you get to choose who you are. Never let anyone tell you differently. You get to decide. And so, in the immortal words of Charles Schulz, it is fun to have fun, but you've got to know how, which is what we aim for around here, folks. To thine own self be true. Opportunity, it lay everywhere. Steal like Picasso. In our community at La Bella Bee, we are reclaiming our sovereignty, democratized, decentralized, where aligned individuals are collaborating to create a world worthy of our children. Information can be found at labellabee.com. It's time to take action, folks. No one will do it for us. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. We're not asking for permission or favor. We are doing it. And you are invited to join the party. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment. Be well. God bless. Peace out.